Hello, happy Friday. Here we are, and I promised you that I would come on today and that I would talk to you about the ketogenic diet. And I think this is really important and very timely right now because so many people are trying this ketogenic diet. So, what is the ketogenic diet? Well, the ketogenic diet is an offshoot from the whole idea of the Atkins. Atkins was very much, we are going to be, eating all the high protein, very low carb. The ketogenic diet dropped down the protein, but increased the fat. Still very low carb. So your average person that's doing the ketogenic diet is getting just a minimal amount of protein, which is okay. I mean, in reality, we really only need about half the number of protein grams that we're getting per day on average. And that is because the reason they drop it in the ketogenic diet is because protein can't be converted into glucose in the body. The other thing that they do on the ketogenic diet is people drop those carbs down to below 20 grams per day, and they are very picky about what carbohydrates they're going to eat. But then they take their fats and they push them up to 80-85% or more of their diet. So your average person that's doing the ketogenic diet or following a celebrity that's doing the ketogenic diet is seeing lots and lots of dairy. Now, dairy is very high in my list of things that you should get rid of if you can, because of the inflammation that it's really causing throughout our bodies, because of all of the hormones that go into the animals, as well as the antibiotics, as well as the grains that they're being fed. And you might say, well, I'll just do it all A2, or I'll just do it all grass-fed. It's still dairy. It still has that protein in there that can cause your body so many problems. So then they do a lot of meat and a lot of saturated fats. Now, saturated fats really are the big part of the problem that caused everyone to say fats are bad. And yes, then we get into the whole processed foods and trans fats and all of that. But what caused this sort of big thing about fats are bad was because of these high saturated fats. Now, if you followed me for a while, you might know that about 25% of the population has this genetic mutation where your blood platelets are, instead of being fluffy and happy, they're more flat and sticky. That's what I have. So even eating a vegan diet, I have to be careful that my cholesterol doesn't increase because I'm genetically prone to it. So what happens when you add in a bunch of saturated fats, that can be a really bad thing for those people. Now, if we get away from all of that and all of the bacon and all of the cream cheese and all of those sort of things, and we start thinking about that on the health level, that's where you kind of go, ugh. Now, if we look at something like the Mediterranean diet is high on those monounsaturated fats. Those are those healthy heart fats. Those are the olive oils and the avocados and the algae oil. And those are the ones that are really healthy for you. And so when I saw that my cholesterol was getting up there, even though I was eating what I thought was a very healthy vegan diet, I was using a lot of the saturated oils. And so I changed and switched over to a monounsaturated oil. And between that and I was taking some supplements, I dropped over 3 months my cholesterol down by 47 points, back into the normal range. So that, of course, made my doctor very happy, and it made me very happy. But it's essential that you start understanding the differences between these types of fats and the differences between the different types of biotypes within us as individuals. What works for me might not work for you, might not work for you. It's all varied. What we do know is that we all have the same sort of functionality of our machine. So if we think about the gut health, what is ketogenic doing to our gut? Well, number one, when you go very low carb, you reduce the mucus in your body. Well, what does that matter? Well, mucus is essential in our gut. Our gut has this very, very tiny lining that protects us from having proteins get into our blood system. So when those leaky holes start developing because we have no mucosal lining in there, well, where do the proteins go? They go into your bloodstream. Once they go into your bloodstream, that's when you start developing these weird, wacky allergies that you may never have had before, because your body starts reacting to these strange proteins that have never been in their bloodstream before. On top of that, everyone now knows about probiotics. Some people don't know about prebiotics, but everyone knows about probiotics. And so probiotics, I want you to know, are, yes, very essential. Prebiotics also go in and feed some of that good gut bacteria, so they're also very essential. So we kind of need both, but when our gut gets this overabundance of bacteria, what is it going to eat? What are you feeding it? That fiber that you need to be getting from those carbohydrates, that's what's going to feed your gut colony. And if you don't feed your gut colony, it's going to start eating you. So that can start causing all kinds of dysbiosis problems and even higher concentrations of leaky gut. And then you don't have the nutrients. So on a ketogenic diet, you're having a very minute variety of nutrients. And we know that our body requires all of these different nutrients. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I'll just take a multi. But again, genetic mutations, how is your body going to react to that multi? And does your multi have any fiber in it? No. Does your multi support your microbiome? Does it feed it? No. And so it's this cycle that starts. And so yes, you may lose weight very rapidly on a ketogenic diet, but a lot of what you're seeing can be your body eating itself, eating your muscles, eating your immune system, because our gut flora, it not only interacts with our immune system, but if you think about it, I mean, it really is our immune system. It really is our mood balancers. 90% of your serotonin is created in your gut. So if your gut isn't happy, your brain isn't happy. You are not happy. You have to have the right bacteria. Once you have a microbiome that is working really well, then you can start seeing all of these benefits. You start feeling healthier. And it takes a little while. A lot of people jump in to a program trying to correct their wellness, and they want it to happen to where they can be well right now. But it doesn't work that way. You have to build. It takes time for these body areas to renew. There are some parts of the body that you are just, what you've done to it, that's what you get. It is how your body is going to function from now on. It is not cells that are going to renew. However, there are things you can do, like I was talking in a group earlier today about the fact that you can drink green tea or take a green tea extract supplement. You want to make sure where it's coming from, what's in it. You don't want to add anything more crazy into your body. But it is a heavy metal chelator, and it can cross the blood-brain barrier. So, I mean, that's like pretty amazing. Phytonutrients can cross the blood-brain barrier. But if you're eating a ketogenic diet, you're lacking in phytonutrients. When you start eating this way, and you start feeding your body just a lot of crazy, high saturated fat things, you're going to start realizing that you start developing some of these leptin sensitivity issues, to where your body stops having the controls necessarily to know when it's supposed to be eating, when it's not supposed to be eating. Now, the fats keep you feeling like you're full and you're happy, but you're not. It's just a mind game, because the fats are working on the brain. And the brain is functionally saying, we don't need to eat because I've got all this fat. But the truth is that the gut knows we're screwed. We don't have any of the good things that we desire. And so it's just a heyday for bad bacteria. The ketogenic rash is actually a combination of things. One of those things is from the fat cells, because your body is just looking to get energy anywhere it can. So when it opens up a fat cell, it's dumping out hormones, it's dumping out chemicals and toxins, and it starts dumping all of these things. Well, how happy do you think a lot of that makes all the bad things in our diet? So, we get all these things going, and you start having candida, and you start reacting to the chemicals that are being released because of the ketosis, and that is where the ketogenic rash comes from. And if you've ever had a keto rash, you know, what do they tell you to do to get rid of it? Eat more carbs. And yet there's no one putting these two things together in their brain that, well, if I eat more carbs, then the bacteria gets happier, and then the rash goes away. Now, there can be some underlying things, like I find that the ketogenic rash happens more often with people that have been exposed to toxins like mold, or that have had Lyme disease. I think it's because of the things that are coming out of those fat cells and coming out at a rate that our body is struggling to process, especially because our liver is really struggling anyway to process everything that you're eating. And your kidneys, oh my goodness, your kidneys are like, what are you doing to me when you're doing a diet like that? Now, what I created last year, and I've had some great successes from my clients, is called the Ketogenic Reset. And it is meant to be as plant-based as you can get. It's meant to be high monounsaturated fats, lots and lots of fiber, with all the fruits and vegetables you're getting, especially those good vegetables. It is very easy to keep your net carbs at 50 to like 70 net carbs a day. And that means that net carbs is where you take the total carbs and you're able to subtract all the good fiber The fiber doesn't count. The fiber doesn't impact your ketogenic state. So you can do that, and it's a way of perhaps getting someone to do a slight reset on their body, reset on your microbiome. You're still going to be probably seeing less overall micronutrients. I mean, you're definitely seeing lower on some of those macronutrients, but that's why with the micronutrients we're getting from the capsules that I recommend that are 30 plus raw whole foods. And then you're also able to have the meal replacement shake because you're getting a lot of fiber out of it. And it's plant-based, and it doesn't have any of these icky things added into it. And then you can mix it up with an avocado, and you can, throw in some raw cacao nibs, or you can add in some flax seeds, and you can add in your berries. And I have showed people time and time again, hi Jamie, I've showed people time and time again that I can pee on that stupid little keto stick, and eating just the normal way that I eat, which is a lot of plants and generally on the shred or a modified shred protocol, I will get, hello, you're in ketosis. And it's minimal ketosis. Minimal ketosis is where all of the neuroprotective benefits come from. High ketosis is where all of the damage comes from. If you talk to anyone that has a kid that has just any sort of issues with diabetes, they cringe when you start saying, yay, I'm in ketosis. But the idea of my Ketolicious Reset was not to have people going on this long-term diet. It was to help people understand and to realize what they are eating and what kind of fats are healthier for our brain and for our body and for our cells, because our cells have all those protective lipids around them, and to help people kind of transform into a different diet type. Because we eat a lot of junk, and it's hard to change your diet. But like I said earlier, what those fats do is they tell your brain that you're satisfied. And so if you're getting this like dense push of all of these nutrients into your body, so you're not going to worry about that, you get those healthy monounsaturated fats so that your brain is happy and it's not saying that you are craving things all the time. Because what I say is that if you're hangry, your body is craving fats and protein. So when you start getting hangry, it's a big sign that you're not getting a good combination of those two things. If you're just hungry, a lot of times it's just your brain. And how you can help with that is you can make sure you're getting those good healthy plant fats. Now you don't want to eat too many nuts, because these nuts, especially if you have insulin sensitivity, the nuts can cause a lot of major inflammation because they are polyunsaturated fats. The truth is that nuts are not great to cook with. So even though I share a lot of recipes with my groups that have almond flour in it, I oftentimes will recommend a different flour that you can use, because as it heats up, it's not necessarily great for our system. And people think, they say, oh, well, I don't eat that many nuts. That's not causing me a problem. Track your nuts. and for you guys, just stop laughing, track your nuts and see how many you're actually eating in a day. Now, I start my day off every single day, non-negotiable. I have my tea. Now, what my tea consists of is it has 1/8 to 1/4 of a teaspoon of organic turmeric, 1/4 to 1/8 of a teaspoon of organic ginger, and a teaspoon or more of algae oil. That is how I start my day, every day for the last 3 years. My body feels so much better, and I honestly don't have any cravings for food until maybe 10 or 11. Sometimes now, if I was really active the night before, we had a lot going on the day before, about 9 o'clock I'll be like, yeah, I need to eat. But I also rarely eat anything anymore because of doing the monthly shred programs after 6:30. It used to be that I could not go and, to bed without having something in my stomach. But this has changed that for me. And my husband, he had a lot of insulin resistance issues. And so we've changed around some things with him with using a little intermittent fasting. And he has done so much better. He does not get the kind of blood sugar crashes that he used to. Now, my daughter is a work in progress because, as you know, when teenagers go away and go to their classes, sometimes they eat whatever they want. And then they learn a valuable lesson. And then you pick them up from their class and they'll say, Mom, I'm having a sugar crash. I need to eat something right now. Well, maybe you shouldn't have had the giant bunch of Hershey's after you had your salad. Maybe you should have pulled your shake out of your bag and instead bought a water and made yourself a shake. That's just, momming and preparing her for college one day, because one day she's going to have to deal with all of that on her own. But that is the things that you can start seeing as you start changing your diet from trendy or easy or cheat keto to healthy, plant-heavy, energetic keto. So does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and I will make sure and answer them. Now, before I go today, number one, I want to remind you that I'm going to be having a little conversation with you all this weekend about something that's very dear to my heart, and that is methylation. Number one, because I do have some genetic mutations that impact my methylation pathways, and histamine, because my nickname when I was in my 20s was Bubble Girl, because my friends were like, we can't take you anywhere without a bubble around you because you're allergic to so much. So I'm going to be talking about this connection between folic, folate, methylfolate, and histamine. And so make sure that you have clicked to follow me so that you'll get a notification when I go live for that, because I honestly can't tell you what actual time I'm going to go live, because my weekends are so varied. And then finally, I said earlier this week that I was going to give away this lovely book. Oh my goodness, who is that attractive author? She must be brilliant. She is. So, we're going to pick out a name. It's Julie. Julie S., you won. Oh, why did Julie S. win? Let's look at the other names. Oh, it's Julie. Oh, it's Julie and Julie. Because on the live that I did, I think some crazy number of people actually watched it, and only Julie posted. Julie. So my magic unicorn pen, isn't it cute? It's a pen. I love it. Anyway, it wrote out all the Julies to teach you guys that when I'm giving something away, don't miss out, because this is a freaking awesome book. I mean, let's look at this. Let's look at the contents. Exploring aromatherapy, exploring history, olfactory system, aroma chemistry, biophilia hypothesis, methods of use, plant spirits, chakra balance advanced, emotional support, oil identification, entree aroma, and case studies. That book could have been yours, but you didn't post anything down below. But Jamie did today. So I'm going to give another book away this next week. But you got to post something down below. Don't let my little hat be full of Jamie's name. Although Jamie will say, don't post below. I want Barbara's book. But you want to give her a little run for her money. So go ahead and post down below a smiley face or a hello Barbara or something to me if you want to be in the running to get a copy of my book. Exploring Aromatherapy has gotten great reviews on Amazon, and I know that it's something that so many people, this information that they really do need. It's all about the plants for me, the nutrients, the essential oils, and I think that you're starting to get the hang of it. You're starting to get the understanding of it. Right? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, any questions? Again, post them below. That will put you in the running for the book. All right? So, go ahead and let me know if there's anything I didn't cover about the ketogenic diet. If you want to look at my program, you can go to www.ketoliciousreset.com, or there's a link right on my Paleo Veggie website, which is www.paleoveggie, just like it sounds, PALEOVEGEO.com. And we will be talking again this weekend. I will see you later. You guys have a fantastic Friday, because it's your new favorite day of the week, isn't it? I know it's your new favorite day of the week, because every day is your new favorite day of the week. Just ask Julie now that she's won. Julie won! All right. See you guys. Oh, I love you too. Jamie, you're going to eat good, because you're going to keep watching my videos, and you're going to find out just how much it matters and just how affordably you can do it. So just keep watching. I love you. Reach out to me anytime you want, because you know that I'm always here for you. Much love. Talk to you guys later. Bye.